we believe aging can be optional. We can continue to go through our years, but if we can follow very precise, specific protocols that are customized and personalized for what our biology is, our physiology, we can really just build a bulletproof body that can withstand a lot of the things that gets thrown at it. If we get the right area and the right treatment, we can really reverse that damage and get regeneration and repair of those damaged cells and even go further into a regeneration of age. There's no reason why someone can't be 10 plus years younger than their chronological age. We call this the Ageless Future Operating Systems. Welcome everybody to the Ageless Future Podcast. This is your host today, Cade Archibald, and we got some really cool stuff we're going to be diving into. Last week, Reagan jumped into the neural check system and really the body operating system scan. We're calling it the BOSS scan, and hopefully you guys got some really cool insights into a new test that we've uncovered that really can help you discover different ways to find different interferences and energy, and then really look at how you can enhance cognitively, pain-wise, all the different areas and pathways in the body just through these different energy fields that we have. And so today we're jumping a little more, just a deep dive into the Ageless Future Operating System, really the future of health with Medicine 4.0. And so I'm going to share my screen here. For those of you listening to this just in audio, I'll obviously share as much as possible, but yeah, it's great if you hop on our YouTube channel as well. If you're just listening to the podcast, you can watch all the things a little more interactively. So today, jumping into the Medicine 4.0, and if you think about, we'll go through a little history on medicine. And so if you think about, the early 1890s, like pre-1890s, pre-modern medicine, allopathic medicine, a lot of different serums, it's some great stuff. There's and I think, Western medicine, if you've ever read the Flexner Report, anything like that, obviously there's some, maybe some conspiracies around, traditional Western medicine. But, you go back to the roots of, how can we enhance things naturally? And then healing was just kind of like, hey, if someone's sick, let's give them a lot of different things, whether it was, you got some different tonics, swamp root, and that's got some funny images here, but you kind of get the picture, very old way of looking at things where it was just, focused on if someone was sick, find a treatment. And then kind of modern medicine came around in the 1890s. It's where antibiotics came into play, and antibiotics were transformational for a lot of things, especially where, back then people were exposed to a lot more deadly things, and our immune systems obviously, been enhanced since then. But along with that, antibiotics have kind of their pluses, as well as the overprescription of antibiotics. You could argue it's also had plenty of downsides, and there's downside effects there. And it's always been really focused around symptom or disease, and then equals X medication. And we historically got into a lot of different chemicals to make certain things happen in the body to maybe mask or stop a disease progression, but never really, got into all the different ways that of how to really prevent. And then, Medicine 3.0, and some, there's lots of clinics kind of practicing more functional medicine preventative medicine and even primary care. Like they'll get into diet and exercise and talk about, different ways that you can reverse and really help your health accelerate in the right direction. And this has been a great form of medicine for it's very very new for the most part. If you look at it historically, it's a new way of thinking about things from a preventative standpoint, and how to kind of live optimally before things happen. And what we're going to talk about today is really the next iteration of that is medicine 4.0. And this is regenerative medicine, personalized medicine. And we have the East West Health Operating System, Ageless Future Operating System, where you're not only preventing certain diseases, but we're actually working on reversing age and really just living to our fullest potential through the most optimal health and technology that's available to us. And so it's possible to utilize certain regeneration and repair that's natural and doesn't require surgeries and certain medications. It's very personalized and specific to what's going on in your body with diagnostics. Through looking at diagnostics, looking at all the different things that kind of get pulled up. Let me see. And so if you look at this, we have just so many cool ways that we can really get the right diagnostics, get the right metrics that we can measure progress and results, and then personalize a protocol and then focus that on longevity and get the right cutting edge therapies and really get the right proactive measures. So if we look at the regeneration and repair, our bodies have natural healing capabilities that are hardwired, built into our system. And so that's through stem cells. When our body gets damaged, something, we have degeneration, something there, our bodies, we have an inflammatory system that's saying, hey, there's a problem here. And that attracts stem cells, and then our stem cells go in and work on regenerating the damaged area. Problem is as we age, there's so many different chemicals and different toxins that we're exposed to, that this creates quite a few issues with our stem cells being able to replicate. Newborn baby, 1 in 1,000 cells is a stem cell. They're just they can fall down a flight of stairs. You think about a toddler, roll down a flight of stairs, hop back up, they're good to go. Many of us, you fall down a flight of stairs and it's broken bones, all banged up, and it's a long road to recovery there. And sometimes that recovery never happens. But the beautiful thing is now we have this technology with stem cell therapies and different exosomes therapies where we can, if we get the right area and the right treatment, we can really reverse that damage and get regeneration and repair those damaged cells and even go further into a regeneration of age. So biological age can actually be less than your chronological age. And then we can utilize, we just introduced the neural check and looking at different interferences in the body. Along with that, we obviously use blood labs and different diagnostics to really fine tune and personalize the right protocol for each individual using, we've used peptides, different cellular medicine, certain nutrients and nutrition and lifestyle, where now we're looking at things from a totally different landscape, not just from, preventing disease, but now we're preventing that I guess you could say it's the disease of aging, but we can turn back that biological clock just by having those right protocols. And it's a beautiful thing to be focused more on that longevity piece And how can we match like lifespan with health span? Because I'm sure you'd all agree with me that you don't want to see your end of years be in a hospital bed or care center where you just your body, all your functions are starting to go, but you're still around. We want you living just to your fullest all the way through. And so you know, what if you could be, chronologically, say 65 or 75 or 85, 95, but then be 10 years younger than that biologically or more? You could be 10. We have clients that are measuring it, 20 years younger. And that is possible with this new medicine 4.0 when you really get things dialed in. And so, some of that includes these cutting edge therapies, whether that's, different rejuvenation treatments through cardiovascular recharge, cognitive with brain. We do brain rejuvenation therapies with stem cells. So many cutting edge therapies that have been developed. And then now with some of the wearables, you have continuous glucose monitoring, so you can understand what foods cause your glucose to spike, or maybe what's going on with your blood sugar levels. You have Whoop, measures your sleep, your activity levels, all these different smartwatches to really be proactive on how you can monitor your health. I just got into I kept getting this ad for. It's the Hume body scale, but it's just a simple body composition, so I can actually track every single day. And it's not perfect. It's not like going and getting a DEXA scan that's going to be very accurate based on your fat percentages and different things. But it's fun to be able to at least track that and see how am I doing with my fitness levels and where I'm putting in a lot of energy to get build more muscle, be more active. And so I'm able to actually track that on a daily basis as well. So many cool tools, and that's what we love to see, just new technologies emerging in this new medicine 4.0. And how we look at things is, you have these individual personalized protocols, the stem cells. There's cardio age optimization with looking at your heart health and how can we optimize that. There's so many innovative ways that we can use just your data on your health to really enhance and get better and more refined on your protocol. I think we've talked a lot about it, but there's kind of three major organs in the body that is the most critical when it comes to our longevity, and that's our brain. I think we'd all agree that we want to have a super sharp brain as we age. So making sure we're focused on how we can optimize cognitive function. Your heart, that's another huge, very important. If you can't have longevity without good heart health, and so really finding innovative ways to continue to just nurture that organ is so critical. And then the last piece is making sure you have muscle to continue to function. So it's brain, heart, muscle. If you have all those three components optimized in the body, man, it makes a huge difference. And obviously there's other organs that all tie into that, but when we've broken it down and kind of looked at what are the three major things that we need to focus on from a longevity standpoint, and these are the three core things. Obviously gut health's going to drive into brain health, and nutrition's going to feed your heart and your muscles and all those things. But from a very simple, like precise way that we can articulate the best way, all things lead to these three major organs. And so if we look at what that future looks like in this new medicine 4.0, prevention really becomes proactive optimization. because our goal, and we believe aging can be optional. Like we can continue to go through our years, but if we can follow very precise, specific protocols that are customized and personalized for what our biology is, our physiology, and what our physical presence and muscles are. And that's where we can really just build a bulletproof body that can withstand a lot of the things that gets thrown at it. And so one of the ways that we've really figured out how we can optimize some of these health is with the peptide bypass, the peptide pathway bypass. So, think about this is a way that we can kind of bypass some of those biological functions that start causing aging. We open up the right pathways, and it can be just amazing through having the right strategic, personalized system where your body is continually regenerating. You get away from some of the generic, just kind of out of the box, basic treatments and really get into what does my body need and what can we give it? And then we look at your labs, we build a specific protocol. And this is really what, if each individual can follow this type of approach, and I think the field, like living long, vibrant, healthy lives is a, don't want to say guarantee, but yeah, it's a lot more achievable, right? And so, we have, peptides that'll help with the energy piece and heart, and how we can get, these, you think about peptides, they're like these precise message, they're just giving precision messages to your cells so you can heal, clean the body, so you have the proper detoxing systems. And then really you're just generating more and more energy through the body. And so we call this the Ageless Future Operating System. So this is where we clarify through the right diagnostics and testing. We can diagnose, not necessarily diagnosing diseases, but we diagnose what's the underlying issue and where can we really uncover those interferences in the body. And then we make predictions and build that protocol. And we know, based on all the different data that we have now, with we have huge amounts of data through these new AI integrations, but also just from our historical data from treating thousands of patients over the years. And then from there, your body just continues to rejuvenate, and we continually follow this process over and over. And that's where really, making your next decade the best decade is not far-fetched whatsoever if we can follow this process. And so, we believe that, this medicine 4.0 with precision health, there's no reason why someone can't be 10 plus years younger than their biological age, than their chronological age. So when you look at things from a biology perspective, it looks like you are much younger than that age. So we're here dedicated for this vision. Our goal is we want to help each person that we work with, or even if we're not working with you and you're just listening to this podcast, I challenge you, hop on a health span assessment. You can, schedule that through agelessfuture.com. But our goal, we want to empower you to take ownership of your health and, move beyond some of the conventional approaches that have been around for years and decades that just focus on the symptoms, and then take it up another level from just prevention of, disease to really, how can we live and prosper from an optimal health level as opposed to just, avoiding disease. So then our bodies, you can do the things that you want physically, mentally, and even spiritually. You're able to connect at whole new levels with relationships and everything that you want to accomplish. So I know today is a little bit shorter hack, but just wanted to introduce and talk to you guys about this medicine 4.0 that's I think we'll see more, or we're hoping to see more clinics start utilizing this approach. It is here though. The future of medicine is we've been, really working on it over decades. Really exciting to see it come to fruition and see the results that we're able to get for people and see people's, ages reversing and just feeling more vibrant. If you're one of our clients, what you're going to see in the next few months is we'll have a new patient portal where you'll actually see your biological age scores. You'll be able to, upload new labs, new data. We'll be able to connect in with your wearable devices and really provide a more, just a better experience continually, which I hope your experience has been amazing so far, and it's just going to get better and better. So love you all. Really appreciate you tuning in today live. Thanks to all of those that joined. And for those of you listening on a podcast or YouTube, wish you the very best. And if you know someone that maybe they could use a paradigm shift in how they're looking at their health, share this podcast with them, because we believe that aging should be optional. And we want to make your next decade your best decade. Because when health improves, everything improves. We'll see everybody.